Welcome to NSOMASA NMIMS podcast, where we bring you exciting conversations with the thought leaders drawn from various fields. I am K.S. Madhavarao, Professor of Statistics in the Department of Statistics in NSOMASA. Let us welcome our guest, Dr. Manisha Pal, who is a Professor of Statistics at St. Xavier University, Calcutta, India, who is being interviewed by Namdev Suryavamshi and Nandini Bhosle.
Hello and welcome to the very first of its kind of podcast where we, the students of International Conference on Statistics, organized by NSOMASA NMIMS, have cumulatively gathered to seek and store resonating wisdom of our eminent and world-renowned guest speakers. My name is Nandini and this is my co-host Namdev, are the hosts for this podcast episode. We have with us today Professor Dr. Manisha Pal. My co-host Namdev will give a brief introduction about her academic journey and interests.
Welcome, Dr. Manisha Pal. Professor Dr. Manisha Pal has taught in the Department of Statistics, University of Calcutta, for more than 39 years. She has visited many universities in India and abroad, like USA, UK, Thailand, Bangladesh, Nepal, to deliver the invited talks in the conferences and also for the collaborative research. Her research areas are operation research, mixture distributions, reliability inference, sequential estimation, and optimization techniques. She has been awarded the Siksha Ratna Award by the Department of Higher Education, by the Government of West Bengal, and the International Distinguished Research Excellence Award 2021 in Statistics by the Center of Professional Advancement, India. She holds various positions. She is presently the president of Calcutta Statistical Association, and editor of journal CSA Bulletin and IAPQR Transaction, managing editor of Journal of Business Strategy, Finance and Management. She is an elected fellow of West Bengal Academic of Science and Technology and is presently a council member of the same. After retirement, Professor Manisha Pal has joined St. Xavier's University, Kolkata as a senior professor of statistics. We wish you a very warm welcome.
Now we'll move forward with the question segment. To start with, please enlighten us about how did you start your journey in statistics, and if possible, what was the moment that made you fall in love with statistics and to go on teaching for more than half of your lifetime?
Well, actually, in school, when I was in high school, we did have a small element of statistics over there, and I really liked it because it seemed very interesting to me. Not much of statistics, it was just frequency distribution and finding the different measures of dispersions and measures of dispersion and central tendency. It was just simply that. But I thought it was quite interesting. And later on, when I passed out of school, frankly speaking, I wanted to go for engineering. But IIT was my dream, IIT Kharagpur, but I got chance to. But it so happened that at that time, grandmothers were very strict. So I had to drop out. And then my sister told me, why don't you go for statistics? Since I had already studied statistics a bit, I thought I'll give it a go. So I joined Presidency College. So that was a renowned college at that time. Of course, it has become a university now. And the subject, well, we were taught different topics and I really liked it. And when did I fall in love with it? Well, when we were doing inference. I thought that was very interesting. You are given the data set and from there you are going to infer about the population. So that I found really very interesting. And frankly speaking, that made me stick to statistics, though I did not do my PhD in inference, but that made me stick to statistics and I have taught now for more than 40 years.
So it was like a love at first sight with statistics.
I won't say at first sight because I learned statistics in school. I did not fall in love with it at that time. I liked it.
It was like arranged marriage.
No, you may say love after a long period of time. Okay, after knowing that person, it's like that, or that subject, you see.
Okay, so next question. So while teaching in Calcutta University, you have been also visiting the various universities in India and abroad.
Yeah.
So can you share some experience to us with respect to that?
Yes. What happened in Calcutta University, at least the course, the statistics course, that is very theoretical. Of course, we have the practical element over there, and they are nowadays using softwares and programmings and things like that. But I mean, we teach a lot of theory because we believe that unless a person knows the theory, the outcome that they get, okay, they will not be, I mean, using softwares and things, they will not be able to interpret it properly. So it is very essential that they know the theory part very well. Well, when I went abroad, I have also taught over there. What I found was, to my surprise, that the graduate students, that is equivalent to your M.Sc over here, they knew less about the theory part than our students do. That was quite surprising to me. And I have also taught in the undergrad course, that is the, over here we call the graduation level courses. So over there, the students, what we taught them was something that we teach in, I don't know what you call over here, but we call them past subjects. That is not the honors subject, but subsidiary subjects that they take. Okay, it was at that level. So I will say that in India, statistics is, we teach it in a more thorough method, okay, than they do abroad.
That is very good insight. To highlight upon your wide experience, can you please let us know how do you stay up to date with the latest developments in statistics and its applications, and what advice you would give us students and young researchers to keep up with the field?
Okay. As we find now, statistics, this is needed in every, I'll say, in every subject. Wherever the research is being carried out, you need statistics. That is for to draw conclusions from the data that you have collected. Now, the thing is, many of they have this wrong impression that in arts you don't need statistics. You do need statistics over there too. Like, for example, I'll tell you, if you want, say, you are looking at some particular author, say Charles Dickens. He has written many books. Okay, the use of a particular word, it is novel. Okay, for that, you are going to collect data and you can analyze that and you can compare it with some other author of his times. So in every field, you do need statistics. Okay, so for the students, particularly for the statistics students, I'll say that, what they should do is be updated with whatever, what do you say? Whatever new research is being carried out in statistics, because as we are seeing in this conference, there are different types of data set that you have and how you are going to analyze it. It's not the same for all data set, the analysis. So they need to be updated. I'm, of course, talking in particular about your research students. Okay? Yes. They need to do that. And what I feel is they should have, as I've said, a strong background of theoretical statistics. That is it. My advice to students will be just to remain updated. You have so many journals, international, national, and in the area in which you are doing research, you should be updated in that. Otherwise, you'll fall back.
So it's like the time with the race with the time.
Huh? Yeah.
So most of your statistics work is related to the pharmaceutical industry. So can you explain the motivation behind it or to pursue this path?
Well, what you see is not really wholly true because I work in the area of operations research, reliability theory, sequential estimation, and also optimization techniques, and of course this mixture experiments in pharmaceutical industries. Well, actually, I came across this paper by Lewis, about whom I was talking in my talk. Okay, so in Lewis' paper, I saw that you know this dissolution rate that they say, that is, you're taking a tablet, now before being absorbed, it gets dissolved in your gastrointestinal fluid. Okay, and the rate at which it does is very important, because if it gets dissolved very easily, what happens is that it will get absorbed in the system, and that could cause toxic overdose, and that could be very critical for the patient. I mean, very risky for the patient. The patient may die also. So this dissolution rate is very important. So Lewis's paper, they had introduced a model and they were trying to find the best design of experiment to collect data. Okay. Now, what I found is the designs they were giving, they were not the optimal design. Yes, of course, you give a design, you collect data and try to find the best estimators and things like that. But it was not the optimal design, because if you get the optimal design of experiment, that will give you the most efficient estimators.
Yeah.
So that paper really, I found it very interesting, and I thought that why not try and see whether we can find the optimal design. And fortunately, we were able to do it because, in these pharmaceutical experiments, say for the tablet that I was talking about, it has a number of ingredients, some of which are the active ingredients which goes towards curing the person.
Yeah.
And there are other excipients which are not really, they are not needed for curing the person, but they are needed for such things, for retarding the rate of dissolution and things like that. Okay? So, as I was saying, I was trying to find the optimal design. So, okay. Sorry, I got off track.
Right.
What I was trying to say is that these components that you have in the tablet, they have some restrictions. Okay. So they must lie within certain interval and things like that. So those things have to be taken into account when you were doing or trying to find the optimal design, and that has not been done. Okay. So that was the first paper I did, and that got me interested in this area, because there's much scope for work over there.
So the extra chemicals which were used in the pharmaceuticals,
Yes,
that might be something for like making dissolubility rate slower or faster or something
yes,
like in that.
that is called polymer.
Okay, polymers.
Yeah,
Polymers.
they use polymers for that, to retard the rate of dissolution, and they try to model the dissolution rate or the time to get for the tablet to dissolve or the chemicals to dissolve. They try to model that in terms of the proportions of the polymers. They don't use one polymer only. They may be using 2 or 3 polymers in a tablet. Okay, so they try to model this mean dissolution time or mean dissolution rate as a function of the proportions of polymers that are used.
Ma'am, what are the different, like dissolubility rate is one of the parameters. So what
Yes.
are other parameters that might be?
Actually, I'm working with only tablets.
Yeah.
So in tablet, this polymer is important for your dissolution rate, and dissolution rate is the most important thing over here.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
And generally, these different components that you have in the tablet, like the active components and these, which you can say the inactive components, the proportions are generally specified. That is not done by statisticians. So generally, doctors look into that. Okay, those who are experimenting with these things, and they specify the proportions. It could be an intervals. Say the actual chemicals in it, that should be between, say, 2% and 4%, or something like that. Just
That might
fictitious, I
be
said
from
it.
the drug regulatory.
Yes,
India.
yes, it could be. And also, then the dosage, that will depend on the amount of active ingredients in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
But this polymer, looking at the chemicals that are being used or the active ingredients that are being used, the polymers that you are going to use, there are many polymers. So the ones you are going to use, they should be suitable to dissolve those chemicals. I mean, all the chemicals are not harmful, isn't it? So if it is not that harmful, you need not use a high percentage of polymers in it. But if they are harmful, then the dissolution rate has to be reduced. Okay? So in that case, you'll be using maybe more than one type of polymer, and the percentage of polymers used may be high. It's like that.
I think so.
So we saw that a lot of peer understanding must have been involved in pharmaceutical statistics, to say. So we would like to know what are the challenges that you faced during your initial days. Were you acquainted with all this knowledge already, or did you took some extra efforts? Also, what advice you would like to give to someone who wants to pursue research work in pharmaceutical industry?
Okay. So frankly speaking, I have studied design of experiments in my BSc and M.Sc course, but I was not interested in it earlier. So it is one of my colleagues, Professor N.K. Mandal. He asked me to work with him. That is the time I learned about this mixture experiments and things like that. And I became interested. And pharmaceutical experiments, as I told you, that the paper by Lewis, that actually made me more interested in this area. Okay. So I'm exploring other things in pharmaceutical experiments is not, concentrated to a tablet only. So there are other parts also. So I'm trying to do more research work in that.
There might be vaccination and then
Yeah, many things. Maybe it won't be at a very high level, but at least from my knowledge, I can try it. So I did about the design of experiments. My colleague helped me. And apart from that, I learned on my own also. I tried to go through research papers and things and see what are the recent works being done in these areas. And they have helped a lot. And for students who are interested in this area of research, I'll ask them to do the same. But they must know that for this areas, they must know this, what we call the response surface designs. Okay, mixture experiment happens to be only a part of it. Okay, so you must be having design of experiments. You must have studied. So there's something called response surface designs, which are basically regression designs. Okay.
Yeah.
So they have to know these because these are the ones that are used in these industries.
So as we can see that you are also taking lectures, you are presenting various papers to the different universities and visiting abroad also. So our question is, how do you manage the time in balancing the research and also teaching simultaneously?
Okay. How do I balance it?
Because
at times it becomes difficult, but at times it's easygoing. And now, at this moment, since I have been teaching for such a long time, naturally preparing for a class doesn't take much time. Okay, so that I can concentrate more on research. But initially, yes, it was a bit difficult because I had joined the university, that is Calcutta University, before I had completed my PhD degree.
Yes.
Okay, so I had to balance both. For me at that time, I had to also study a lot before going to the class because naturally being a new teacher, I was nervous. So I did not want to make mistakes over there. Okay, so initially it is a bit difficult, but gradually you get used to it.
So it becomes like a daily routine.
Yeah. And then when you grow old like me, and then you are just, one thing is very easy, the other side you have to concentrate on.
Finally, we would like to know, did you ever know about any of the core faculty in the Department of Statistics in Nilkamal Somasa's school? If yes, how well you know them, their research interests and publications? If not, do you have any opinion on research areas of interest?
Okay, frankly speaking, I did not know any of them before I came over here. Okay, so I was a bit surprised when Professor Rao invited me. So someone must have recommended my name, so he did that because he too did not know me. Okay, but after coming here, I have talked to a number of faculty members of your department. Mm, I'll say, unfortunately, I have not been able to ask Leena about her area of research. She didn't get to do that, but I have met 3 of your Bengali faculty members. 2 of them are from maths, I believe. Okay, so I was asking them about their research areas. But what I feel is I was also present for the poster presentation. I was over there. I must say, your students are doing very well over here. I mean, for second semester students to come up with such projects, okay, that is really commendable.
It's the institute which pushes us.
Yes, it's very good.
So we
It's
have
very good.
every semester we have one of projects which we have to do. So
Yeah.
that's included in our
I mean,
syllabus.
second semester, so I asked one of them whether they have been taught all these things. She said, no, we had to do a lot of studying on our. That's really good.
That's one of the reasons they have included, so that we can learn apart from what is syllabus and then we can gain knowledge.
It's very impressive, I must say.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So one of last question is like, how was your experience at ICS this year 2023?
I'll say excellent. Everything was very good about it. Okay. I can't pinpoint anything and say, no, I wasn't satisfied. Really. And the best part was the cultural program last evening. So it was so very colorful. So I've got ideas from here because we are going to have an international conference next year in Calcutta University, the association with which they hold it. So I'm actually the president of that association. So I was thinking I'll just steal these ideas from you and ask them you can tell the students, try to prepare something like this, so very colorful.
That's really great.
So thank you, Professor Manisha Pal, for taking us time to share with your experience and expertise today with us. Your insights into the field of statistics and journey as a student and teacher and work in the pharmaceutical industry and advice for the young researchers have been truly valuable. We appreciate your contribution to the field and wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Well, it's my pleasure and thank you for your good wishes.
Thank you.